这里是解说君的频道。今天我们为大家带来经济学家洪灏的一次深度访谈，他以敏锐的视角剖析当前全球及中国经济的关键趋势，并对市场前景做出深刻解读。作为资深经济学家，洪灏长期研究宏观经济、资本市场及政策调控，尤其在市场周期、资产配置以及经济增长模式方面有着独到见解。在这次访谈中，他围绕通胀、货币政策、全球经济周期、中美关系以及中国经济复苏等重大议题展开分析，并给出了他的前瞻性判断。当前，全球经济正处于关键转折点。一方面，随着主要经济体央行的货币政策调整，利率变动带来的市场波动加剧，全球资本流向发生变化。另一方面，中国经济正面临多重挑战，从房地产市场调整、出口承压到国内消费疲软，市场信心的恢复成为关键。在这样的背景下，洪灏如何看待2025年经济的主要趋势？中国经济复苏是否已经进入拐点？未来政策是否会继续宽松？在访谈中，洪灏不仅回顾了过去一年的经济发展脉络，还深入剖析了市场当前面临的核心问题。他谈到，全球通胀依然具有粘性，美联储的货币政策虽然有放松预期，但节奏仍然存在高度不确定性，这将直接影响全球资本市场的风险偏好。同时，他也提及中国经济的恢复仍然充满挑战，政策端的支持虽然明显加强，但市场信心尚未完全修复。此外，他还探讨了资本市场的趋势，尤其是外资对中国市场的态度变化。过去几年，外资对中国市场的配置经历了显著波动，而当前形势下，资金流向和投资策略是否会出现新的转变？在 A 股市场、房地产行业以及人民币汇率等方面，他提出了哪些关键判断？在本期节目中，我们将围绕洪灏的核心观点进行深入解析，帮助观众更清晰地理解全球及中国经济的演变逻辑，同时也探讨这些趋势对普通投资者可能带来的影响。这场对话将如何启发市场？又是否会改变我们对未来经济走向的认知？让我们一同进入今天的讨论。关注本频道，跟我们一起掌握最新动态。
Promised tariffs. Let's bring in Hao Hong, partner and also chief economist at Grow Investment Management, and Sri Jakaranja is leading our coverage in Beijing of the NPC. Hao Hong, great to see and appreciate your time, and always a pleasure having you on the show. What are you expecting out from the NPC, excuse me, and is it going to account for the eventuality of an extra 10% tariffs layered on China by the U.S.?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's the most important political event of the year. I think most of us are looking for 5% GDP growth, which is no surprise at all. 2% CPI target, which is the lowest in more than 10 years. It's a recognition, a tacit recognition from the top, the disinflationary or deflationary pressure in the economy. And also people looking for 4% budget deficit, which is slightly higher than usual, and more special bond issuance. So I think all in all, the market has been hearing this set of numbers circling around. So if indeed we do get this set of number, I don't think the market would be impressed at all.
On the tariffs, how high? I'm going to push you a little bit harder on that. Still a couple hours left, but Trump says, look, they're going to go ahead. 25% on Canada, Mexico, an extra 10% on China. The response, and Sri's been reporting this from Beijing as well, potentially China policymakers could hit back by targeting U.S. agriculture. Does that make sense to you? And is that what you're hearing?
Yeah, I think, that was the last time China sort of trying to counter the tariff from the US, right? So, we're trying to put levies, tariffs on US imports of soybeans and many other agricultural products, for example, beef and other meat products as well. I think this is just, countries hitting each other out, trying to get each other onto the negotiation table. I think, 20% additional tariff is hefty on Chinese exports, and, Chinese exports being the most important growth driver for the Chinese economy in the past couple of years, and now it's being affected by hefty tariffs. So I don't think it would be supportive for the Chinese growth going ahead if we cannot get a negotiation, reasonable reduction in the tariff done in the next couple of months.
How is it really all gloom and doom, though, heading into this MPC? Because it does feel like investor sentiment towards China amongst foreign investors and amongst local investors seems to have turned after the DeepSeek effect, after symposium with the China tech leaders. Do you think that there will be, within this MPC message, more support, more momentum, and more support of AI-related investment and adoption?
Yeah, we had a really nice rebound in the last couple of weeks. I think major market in the world. But having said that, I think tariff is coming. I think much of the expectation from the MPC is baked in the market price, and the market is now at a very important technical resistance level. So more needs to be done. For example, recently we're seeing signals from the top, to support the private enterprises, which has been doing quite poorly in the past couple of years, because of COVID and also because of the lack of confidence. The private enterprise has been rather reluctant to put money to reinvest into the economy, and this is 60% of the Chinese GDP and also 70% of Chinese employment, so which is a very, very important sector. So we're seeing increasing support from the top and also policy announcement from the PBOC as well, trying to support them financially, give them lower cost interest loans, for example. So these are all very good, right? So it's supporting the market sentiment for now. But I think, going forward, tariff is going to impact Chinese exports, which is the important growth driver for Chinese economy. And also it's going to affect the Chinese currency. So it will limit the monetary easing room for the PBOC, in order to defend the Chinese yuan. You can't cut your interest rate too much. So that's going to limit the stimulus effect from monetary side. So we need to do more, substantially more on the physical side, to get the growth to 5% target this year.
Is it a stretch then, Hao Hong, to say or to expect animal spirits to be released because of this policy to support the tech industry and to support AI-related adoption? Is it a stretch to say that this is enough to really build a moat around the Chinese economy to protect and mitigate the impact from tariffs? And is this an opportunity then to increase exposure to Baidu, Ali and Tencent?
Yeah, I think, sentiment can be fleeting, right? So it comes and goes quite quickly. So last couple of weeks, we've seen the sentiment rally, it's inspired by DeepSeek movement. It shows, a way to do AI with substantially less cost and less GPUs, which is very, very good. But I think having said that, because the fleeting nature of the sentiment, more policies, needs to be done to be seen. I think right now, people gradually realize that, the support for the private enterprises and also bigger investment into the tech sector is real, and that is one of the reasons why the tech sector has been rallying the hardest amongst all the sectors in the market. But I think right now it's really the mainland Chinese money that is flowing down south to Hong Kong to buy up all these shares, because many of the technology names are not available in the Asian market. So it's benefiting from the southbound flows. But in terms of international investors coming back to this part of the world, I think more needs to be done.
So ultimately, it sounds like the authorities here are going to keep their powder dry until it becomes clearer as to what the end game is here with the trade war 2.0, if it does come to that. So what does that imply then, Hao Hong, in terms of rate cuts, in terms of stimulus? And are we only really going to see that in the second half of the year?
Yeah, I think ideally, because of the lack of inflation pressure, China can, use 50 bips to 100 bips rate cut in one go, right? So to sort of give the real stimulus effect to the economy. But I think just now we discussed, the additional tariffs is coming, so it's limiting the monetary easing room for the PBOC, and therefore I think they are waiting to see what Donald Trump is going to do, in terms of tariff, and what kind of negotiation is possible in terms of tariff. Remember in 2019, right? So China and the U.S. reached the phase one agreement in terms of tariff. China agreed to buy billions of dollars of U.S. agricultural products and Boeing planes, amongst the other things, to soften the stance of the U.S. on tariff. I think hopefully we can reach some sort of agreement and reach a win-win situation for both countries.
All right, Hao Hong, excellent talking, great value as always. Appreciate your time this morning. Thank you. Hao Hong there from Grow Investment Management and Sri Jagaranja leading our coverage live on the ground in Beijing at the NPC.
Thanks, Walter.
Pleasure.
解说君备注：纵观洪灏的分析，我们可以看到，当下全球及中国经济正处于高度不确定性之中，各种变量交织影响市场预期。从美联储的货币政策、通胀持续性，到外资对中国市场的重新评估，再到中国经济自身的调整节奏，每一个因素都可能成为决定市场未来走势的关键变量。而在这一系列复杂因素的背后，核心问题仍然是增长动力的恢复、市场信心的重塑以及政策工具的有效性。洪灏提到，美联储货币政策的拐点是否真正到来仍存在变数，市场一方面压住降息，另一方面却不得不应对高利率环境持续时间可能长于预期的风险。与此同时，全球资本的流动趋势也正在发生深刻变化。过去一段时间，外资对中国市场的信心经历了起伏，而近期的北向资金回流和外资机构策略调整，或许暗示着他们正在重新审视中国市场的长期价值。然而，这种回流是否具有持续性，仍然取决于市场的基本面是否真正具备吸引力。对于中国经济自身而言，尽管有政策层面的积极信号，如财政刺激、货币宽松、资本市场改革等，但市场仍然需要更多实质性的复苏迹象来支撑信心。企业盈利修复是否足够强劲？居民和企业的信贷需求能否真正回暖？房地产行业能否完成平稳出清，避免对整体经济产生更大拖累？这些问题依然存在不确定性。而从更宏观的角度来看，全球供应链重构、地缘政治风险等外部因素也可能继续影响中国的经济结构调整和产业升级。在这样的背景下，我们是否已经迎来了市场真正的拐点，还是仍然处在筑底阶段？中国经济的长期潜力能否继续吸引全球资本？未来政策调整的空间和力度还会如何演变？这些都是值得深思的问题。面对变局，市场参与者该如何调整策略？普通投资者又该如何理解和应对？欢迎在评论区分享你的看法，让我们一起探讨这些影响未来经济格局的重要议题。